Hello, welcome to the stream. So, we are off to look at something called the Ghost of Jupiter. So, it's going to take a few jumps. I'm going to be honking all the way, making a little bit of money from this trip as well. So I'd really like to. In actual fact, I just want to change one thing on the galaxy map, if I have the option. Okay. Across. Okay. There's one other thing I'd like to set before I do this. Okay. So we can literally almost get going immediately here. So this is going to take us roughly 43 jumps. So it's going to take a while. This is not going to be a slow thing, but when I get there, have a really good look at it.
Ship detach complete. Follow the green on your way out.
Try and beat that sidewinder out the door. We're not gonna, but right. Okay, sorry, mate. Yeah, I'll get it fine, or whatever.
Maintain safe separation.
Hopefully that won't leave me in too much trouble later on.
Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
So this might be interesting. I haven't done a trip like this for a while. I did want to do a trip to the center of the galaxy. It's the center of the solar system at some point. Just never really got round to it. And so it would be, seeing as I'm probably going to be grinding another game tomorrow, I thought, well, I might as well give myself something for today.
Fuel scooping.
That's going to be a big payment.
Frameshift drive charging.
It's probably going to cancel my frame shift actually. I suppose one's better than none. So we've got a pretty good fuel scoop on this ship, so
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
I'm hoping to get in and out of these systems quite quickly. I know some people who, when they travel long distances and stuff, they go absolutely crazy when they're doing this. Now, I guess it's to add a little bit more interest to the video, but to be honest, there's not a lot. I mean, I can do spins and stuff. There's a good chance I'm going to splat straight into a planet, so sorry, into a sun, and I'd rather get to my
Fuel scooping.
the place that I want to go to.
Frameshift drive charging.
I might overheat a little bit sometimes because I'm going to get quite close. I'm just going to try and shave off hundredths of a second if possible, or a second or two here and there, and the more I can do that, the more time I can save.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
So it's been a while, like I said before, it's been a while since I've done one of these runs. I think the last one I did was the Witch's Head Nebula or the California Nebula, I can't remember now.
Engage.
And this will be one of the good things about the new Engineers update is a ship like this I can really concentrate on just getting the best out of the frame shift drive so that I can...
Fuel scooping.
I know it's going to get me to the distance I want much quicker, rather than having these kind of rolls at the moment where you're hoping for a better roll than the last time. And that can be a little bit frustrating sometimes, because there's been times when you get a really good roll, but there's maybe the heat management isn't very good on it, so you do it again and then you lose a ton off it, but something else improves. I don't know. It just that way sometimes it didn't work. I know that, you know, Obsidian Ant was on about something like he'd done something like 52 rolls to get a god roll or something on one thing. And to get close to that on the new system, he'd had to do it. Sorry, he'd done a god roll in about 5 rolls, and then on the new system he had to do 52. But at least with the new system, you know you're going to get there.
Frameshift drive charging.
I might just burn up a little bit here, but should be all right. And this is what I was thinking earlier. I mean, I was honestly pondering earlier today whether I should just go out into the black for a few weeks until they actually implement what they've been doing in the beta.
Fuel scooping.
But then I just thought, oh, if I do, I might end up regretting it. Then I'm going to have a huge road back, especially as I've been kind of hammering it a little bit today in other areas, so maybe that'll save for another week. I'm sure I've got a few weekends before they decide to roll it in, if you look at all the crash to desktops and stuff. Just going to turn this soundtrack up a little bit.
Frameshift drive charging.
I'm going to fry up a little bit here. So welcome to the live stream. If you've just joined, feel free to say hello in the chat. I will endeavour to answer any questions or say hello back to you.
Fuel scooping. Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, so every now and again I'm going to do a jump count when I think it's about right to do one.
Fuel scooping.
So you can see I'm honking. I'm not really stopping to look at anything here. I just want to get out there and have a look at it, and then because I probably want to try to get back today within my playtime. So
Drive charging.
I did scan it, didn't I?
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
There was one other place I wanted to try and get out to, but the route planner wasn't finding its way there well enough, and it was a clustered area. I was really worried about getting stuck out there. I've done it before, and I've ended up spending like a couple of hours trying to just work out how to get home. So I really didn't want to do that today. So I took a bit of an easier option, but it is a place I've never been before. It's something I've never seen before, so I'm looking forward to getting out there and having a good look at it. Don't quite understand how that happens when you drop in so far away from the start. But if it means a quick jump out, then that's not so bad. So I'm gonna have to do a couple of fuel stops for sure. My estimation is about one every 10 jumps where I'll have to do an actual stop. But I do have a pretty good fuel scoop, so. It does a pretty good job, this one. There's no waiting around for a couple of minutes or whatever.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
We might do it on the next one, actually. We'll see what it's like with my jump. I don't want to hit a brown dwarf and then find I can't actually refuel at all. It would be a bit embarrassing bringing the fuel rats out on a... Just try and find the right spot here, hopefully. Oh, my temp's going up, but it's not too bad. Let me flip it over and get a bit faster. Okay, so it's sticking at 63%, that's good. It's not as good as a fuel scoop on my Anaconda, which I think does 700 tons a second. The Anaconda actually has a pretty good jump range, but it's so cumbersome. I don't like it for travelling long distances. Okay, almost ready. Almost done.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging.
Now I used to scoop without orbit lines on, but to be honest, sometimes when you're just trying to get that tiny bit extra out of the scoop, you can't always judge exactly where you are, so I've recently turned the orbit lines back on just for a little bit of guidance so that I can get visually used to it again, because I think I was a bit out of sync before. I ended up getting too close a fair few times in a row.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
We've got a binary star here. It's a shame we don't have time to stick around and look at it, to be honest. I like my binary stars.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
goes the battery if I need it later.
Fuel scooping. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage.
So we're going pretty far out the way here. It's not crazily out the way. You're not getting into, you know, like 17 hours of doing it or whatever. There's a guy the other week I was watching doing a trip. I think he was doing a trip to Barnard's Loop. He was trying to do it in 3 days, I think. And the video's him just blasting through star after star. But my God, he'd have been rich when he got there. I mean, just today I think I've scanned, and I don't scan every time because I don't always have a shit with the scanner on, but today I'd scanned nearly a million credits worth of stations, which doesn't sound too amazing. Like if you specifically went out scanning for Earth-type worlds and stuff, you'd probably be coming back after a day with a good 20-30 million, but for just a honking thing and going through system to system that are in the bubble, it wasn't a bad payoff.
Fuel scooping.
Wasn't a bad payoff at all.
Frameshift drive charging.
I think even on this route, I'm gonna make a fair bit. If I can get a couple more of those systems with 50 odd planets, then I'm gonna start raking it in from that.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage. Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
So you can basically see that when I come in, I start scanning, and even after I've scanned, I keep going. It's just when you're doing this, when you're doing system after system at such high speed, it just becomes you don't always know if you've done it. So I just prefer to hold my finger down as I go through the system, and then I'll take it off when I'm doing the jump. That way, even when I haven't got a scanner, I find myself doing it, which at least means the motor skills there.
Fuel scooping. Frameshift drive charging.
So I'm not doing too bad now. I'm really not having to... I'm guessing the stars are a bit close together. I'm not having to scoop as much as I was in the first few systems that I jumped out of. Can't remember how long ago I was that I scooped for the full tank, but I've done pretty well.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift charging.
So yeah, these are all pretty good when you get down to when you get to parts where there's kind of stars close together, and it gives you maybe what do you say, 31 light year jumps, between 31 and 34. The fuel's not as aggressive, and you can actually scoop back more than you use. When it gets up into the 40s, you're generally having huge pieces of huge parts of the fuel just going, so it's hard to scoop that back. I was going to say, I hope that was graphical. That was squeaky bum time, that was. 55 astronomical objects, that's going to pay off. If you've just dropped into the channel or anything, feel free to say hello in the chat. I will endeavour to say hello, or if you have any questions, anything like that. And let's not forget, if you do like what you see, please leave a like and a subscribe. If you don't, leave a dislike and a subscribe. Just because you can. Right, let's have a look.
Fuel scooping. Frameshift drive charging.
So you can see I'm actually scooping back more than I'm actually using at the moment. It's kind of right on the edge, but I think that one was a big chunk. So it's always good to be able to do that, and then you know you're not going to have to make those stops where you're really stocking up.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
And if you've just joined the chat and you don't know where we're going today to the ghost of Jupiter.
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's supposed to be pretty spectacular to have a look at. I don't know, I thought the Witch's Head Nebula a couple of weeks ago when I did that run. I like that one. And the Running, was it the Running Man Nebula I did the other week? I can't remember. The Running Man Nebula, I think it was.
Fuel scooping.
That was a good one as well to have a look at. There's another big one, 36.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Now if you look in the description below the video, it does actually tell you a little bit about the history of what we're going to look at, who discovered it, and things like this. So gives you a little bit to read while I'm jumping in and out of all these systems, if you're that inclined.
Fuel scooping. Frameshift drive charging. Four, Frameshift drive charging.
Is it me or all these sons' names the same? Okay, so we've got 13 jumps to do. It's not that far to go now. I can't remember how many originally I had. Was it 40 or something? I think 40 jumps originally. So we should be there pretty quickly. I can see people popping in and out of the channel. So if you've just joined, feel free to say hello. Or if you prefer your own privacy, fine. Fine and dandy by me, as long as you're watching. Oh. I tried to preempt that one. Probably wasn't the best thing to do.
Frameshift drive charging.
Right, so we're going to be in the final straight now. It's kind of interesting when you're going somewhere. You generally, especially if there's a big nebula or something, you generally get a sense of it as you're getting close in here, or you can see certain things. But to be fair, I'm staying pretty close to the suns and then jumping out as quickly as possible. So there's kind of probably too much light pollution to really get a good look at anything, but I can always try. You can see just because I've got so much light coming off that sun, it's quite difficult to actually see anything outside of the ship. But we'll be there soon. Is it just me, or would everybody else just prefer the Star Wars streaking stars when you're doing a hyperspace jump? I know it's supposed to be unrealistic. It is a game, isn't it? Okay, so we're doing really well on fuel here. I don't think we're going to have a problem getting to our destination without having... I don't even think we're going to have to do a stop and fill up. I think we're going to be able to make it there quite easily, which is fantastic. That was a big one. That was 38 bodies.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, so we've got 8 jumps to go. Which is about 6 minutes.
2, 1,
if my calculations the other day were to be believed.
Fuel scooping.
That's quite a big one as well. That was 17.5, 22.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage.
So what I love about the Diamondback Explorer is this canopy. If you look at the canopy, it's huge. So if you plonk it in the right position in front of whatever you're looking at, you get such a good view. It's amazing.
Fuel scooping.
35.14, that's another big one.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, so we must be down to 6. You still, we've only done 2 jumps. Right.
3, 2, 1. Engage. Fuel scooping.
Kind of trying to crab around the sun here. It's actually quite a difficult manoeuvre, and I'm scared I'm gonna overheat myself, but I think we've done it alright there. That was a new manoeuvre for me.
Disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
It's almost like a crab landing in an airplane.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Fuel scooping. Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, so we're into the Ghost of Jupiter's sector now. It's got 4 jumps to go, and then we'll fly out a little bit, couple of thousand light seconds into the black, so we haven't got that light pollution.
Engage. Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
And then we'll have a look for that perfect photo opportunity that we have when we get up there.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Fuel scooping. Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, we've got this jump and then one more.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Now I'm hoping it's pretty spectacular. I mean, the Witch's Head Nebula was really, it was spectacular. I really liked it. The Running Man was pretty good. Really enjoyed that one. So I'm hoping that this one can kind of keep up with those things.
Frameshift drive charging.
Now I'm hoping I've picked the right star to get a decent look at it. It looked like it did when I was looking at the map. It seemed like it was just below it. Right, okay, so we'll do one scoop and then we'll fly off into the back a little bit.
Fuel fluke disengaged.
Okay, so there she is, ladies and gentlemen. The ghost of Jupiter. Now I'm going to see on the map to see if we can get any closer. Let's have a look. Wait, wrong one. I'm going to see in the map if we can, on the galaxy map, if we can actually get any closer. But I think it's quite difficult. So where is she? There she is. So if we have a look at where we are in comparison to where she is, I think that, in all honesty, this is probably about as good as we're going to get. It's a shame there isn't a star just slightly closer. Could have maybe just got a little bit of a close-up. Now what I can do is, well, the ship's already at 0, so I'm just going to tip it forward, and then I can go into the camera mode and see if I can get a zoom in on it. Wherever she is, there we go. Okay. Well, there we go. Now, unfortunately, wait, is there an automatic? Yeah, so my ship's rotating for some reason. So I'm just gonna quickly, just so it's a bit nicer, gonna hide the UI. Ah, toggle HUD. Why? Okay, didn't realize it. I didn't realize I'd set it. Okay, there we go. There we go. So I'm going to do a print screen of that. So it's not as big as some of the other things I've managed. We've not been able to get as close as we have, and to be honest with you, when I'm zoomed in like this, maybe if I take it out a little bit, you can't see the I don't know how to put it. You can't see how it's kind of painted, so I mean, it's like nice to look at. I'll just give you a rundown I can find my page. So it's NGC 3242, commonly known as the Ghost of Jupiter. It's a planetary nebula located in the constellation of Hydra. William Herschel discovered the nebula on February the 7th, 1785, and catalogued it as H IV.27. John Herschel observed it from the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa in the 1830s and numbered it as H 3248 and included it in the 1864 General Catalogue as GC 2102. This became NGC 3242 in J.L.E. Dwyer's new General Catalogues of 1888. Whatever. This planetary nebula is most frequently called the Ghost of Jupiter or Jupiter's Ghost due to its similar size to the planet, but it's also sometimes referred to as the Eye Nebula, which you can kind of see in that. The nebula measures around 2 light years long from end to end and contains a central white dwarf with an apparent magnitude of 11. The inner layers of the nebula were formed some 1,500 years ago. The two ends of the nebula are marked by FLIERs, lobes of fast-moving gas, often tinted red in false colour pictures. NGC 3242 can easily be observed with amateur telescopes, so if you do have one, then go have a look at it, and appears bluish-green to most observers. Larger telescopes can distinguish the outer halo as well. So there you go. That's what it is. And there it is. So, if you've enjoyed watching, leave a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm gonna probably head back. Might have a little bit of a mooch around here just to have a look at the galactic plane, but it's pretty much that's what I came out here to look at. I am gonna travel back by any star necessary, so that might be interesting. If you want to stick around. We're gonna have to fuel before that by the looks of it, so.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, so every now and again I'm going to mention this. Anybody who's just tuned in, I've actually already visited, but I do have a DVR on the video, so if you want to go back in time and view it a little bit further back, you can, about 5 minutes ago you'll be able to see what we came to look at. Now I'm going to head home, sell my cartography. Hopefully I'll make enough money to that to pay off the time.
Frameshift drive charging.
If you have any questions, I am getting a bit bored of flying from sun to sun, so if you want to ask any questions, feel free to ask.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
It's a shame about music licenses on YouTube. We could sit here and do karaoke or something. I think I could one-hand it with a stick. Well, belting out a few songs. That's a pretty good one. 32.
Frameshift drive charging.
It's a long way home.
4, 3, 2, 1.
In theory, could just destroy my ship and get the buyback. I don't think the buyback on this, the insurance on this, is actually that expensive, but it's a bit of a cheesy way of cheating it.
Fuel scooping.
There's no way I would destroy this ship on purpose. I don't even think I've crashed this ship. This one. And this one. Plenty of others have crashed, but the Memphis Belle's quite important to me. She's the first big ship I got. She was the first ship I outfitted.
Frameshift drive charging.
So I don't want to do anything bad to her. Right, so as I've said it before and I'll say it again, I have actually been to the Ghost of Jupiter. Oh, 104 objects. That's going to bring in some money. If you want to see it, it was about 5 to 10 minutes ago. You can use the DVR playback system on the YouTube channel and go back and watch that part. Wow, 100 odd objects. And if any of them were decent. Also, by the way, if you like, if I can just find it, come on. If you like the music, there is a link to the name. I keep forgetting to link the his actual website, because I really should, and I should get around to it, and I should really do to it. But I've just I forgot to put it in the notes at the bottom. So I've just done that. So it should be available. You might have to refresh the page, but it'll be there.
Frameshift drive charging.
One day we'll fly right into the center of that. Maybe on my next holidays. Or actually maybe after the updates, the engineers comes out and I get a god rolled FSD a bit easier. Yeah, the fuel's go down a little bit now, so I'm gonna have to concentrate a little bit more when I'm fuel scooping. Try and make the most of every scoop.
Fuel scooping.
So if I can keep it right on that line. I don't want to mess anything up and go inside at all.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Try and get that extra little bit out of it that way. Went a bit too early there.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Okay, so anybody just tuning in? I've actually already been to the Ghost of Jupiter, but if you use the playback on the YouTube channel, you can go back about 10 minutes. I think it was about 10 minutes ago, and you should be able to have a look at it. I will try and add a pointer if you're watching this video at a later point. I will try and add a pointer so that you don't have to sit through everything to get there.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive
Oh,
charging.
nothing. That's unfortunate. To that button, that sound every time you come in and you run that little strip, it sounds like a fruit machine. Kind of gives you the same feeling as well. And it's like ding 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 ding. Jackpot. 100 planets. Those are the ones you want.
Fuel scooping. Frameshift drive charging.
If you have just joined, feel hello to say hello in the chat. Feel free to say hello in the chat, not feel hello. Say tiredness. Start to lose your freckles.
Fuel scooping.
How many is that one? 10. Just 11. I thought it was a little bit more than that.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
I think scooping upside down is going to be my new thing. I think I prefer it. I never used to. I think I do now. Get a tiny bit more out of it, and I just feel you can trust the curvature of the. I feel like I can trust the curvature of the sun more when I'm trying to just squeeze that extra tiny bit out of it. I feel like, I don't know, when there was something about when I did it before, I never felt I could squeeze that extra bit out of it. I was always worried that I'd drop out of Super Cruise. And obviously you have to drop your heat sinks and everything to try and get out of there. But I can't wait to get virtual reality for this game. It's gonna absolutely kick ass. I can't imagine anything better than playing this game in virtual reality. Especially when you're going in and out of a station. I think that's just gonna be amazing. From what I've seen when people are trying it out on VR, they're pretty blown away by it. I can imagine, because I think the first time I entered a station, it felt huge. now kind of my TV doesn't feel as big as it used to when it was in front of me. It feels a lot smaller these days. So as you can see with my fuel here, I've actually done really well to get here, and I've only used half a tank so far. Fingers crossed we can keep going at this rate and I'm not going to have to do a fuel stop. But it's it's getting down there somewhat. But as long as we have a couple of short ones, this like this 32 one, we can definitely, when you're doing 32, we can definitely scoop a little bit extra. Do the jump, scoop again, and we should be better than we were before when we started. Oh, that was a good one. What was that? 27 and 9. 36. Ah, 36 is alright.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, so as I keep saying, but I'm going to have to keep saying it because I don't want anybody to be really wasting their time or anything. We've already been to the Jupiter's Ghost, but I have got it on DVR, so if you want to run it back, I don't know, about 10-15 minutes, you'll see it. If you run it back about 10-15 minutes, you'll find it. And it was pretty darn nice. Oh, there's a good one. 41, 46. Not as good as that 103, but it'll do. And considering I'm only honking these, I mean, if this had been in the middle of the afternoon, I'd have definitely been stopping off and trying to find the Earth-type worlds and water worlds and whatnot. I think I've actually I have engineered my scanner on this, so it's got a much higher range. If you've just joined the channel, feel free to say hi in the chat. I will endeavour to say hello back. And if you've got any questions or anything, I'll try and answer them. I should crab a little bit here, shouldn't I, so I can get over to it. So we're managing to keep this fuel at the steady mid-range, which is good. So this is my exploring ship, Memphis Belle. I have a couple of other ships. I have Coconut Airways, which is my my passenger ship, where I'll be happy to transport people, or even you, A to B. We're pretty expensive, but we'll get you there. I've got my trading ship, Big Bertha. She's the one that can handle pretty big loads. I've got Irene, which is my attack ship, but to be honest with you, I don't really do a lot of that stuff, but she is there. I haven't actually started working on or putting anything together yet, because I really don't know what I'm looking for or looking at, so I'll have to work out what kits are needed for different situations. And then there's another couple of ships that I've bought as well, that I'm going to look to use as mining ships and things. Depends on the situation, but I'm going to maybe look to use them as mining missions. So what I'm going to do at some point is I will run like a competition on my channel, and people get to name the ship, which could be really good fun. So that one wasn't bad either. That was what, 24 and 3, 27. So I don't know what I really don't know what to expect from this run when I get home, how much I'm actually going to be able to cash it in for. I'm presuming over 1 million. I mean, even if the one with 100 was like Rocky Worlds and stuff like that, that's got to be worth something serious. I did have one that I cashed in earlier. I think I got 500,000 alone for the system, which I was pretty surprised at. Ooh, oh, there you go. That's the first time that's happened, and that's because I got cocky. So, we'll have to wait for the FSD to cool down now. And that's what happens when you get too cocky. So I've done all those jumps, and how many jumps have I done? Maybe 70 or something. And then I'm just trying to be a bit too greedy. And that's the thing about these, when you fuel scooping like this, you just don't want to be greedy, because when you get greedy, that's what happens every single time. And you only literally have to dip inside that line. So I'll wait for the FSD to cool down. And hopefully we can jump out before we overheat. So that's one heatsink gone. Hey, how are you doing? Benzimeda. Is Benzimeda? No, I'm playing on PC. I would really like to actually get a copy for my PS4 at some point, because I've got some friends who I wouldn't mind playing with, especially when the wing stuff comes out, when the good wing stuff comes out. It'll be interesting. But no, I'm actually playing on the PC on this one. If you've just joined the chat, I've actually we've already been to the Ghost of Jupiter, but it's a DVR, like a DVR channel. So if you want to run it back, I don't know, 15 maybe 20 minutes, you'll find it. You'll find the actual moment when we arrived. I'm interested actually how it works on the PlayStation, because the amount of keys I've got mapped into either my... What happened there? It's a good job that happened there. My joystick just cut out, so I don't know if that's because a battery slipped or what. But if I'd have been doing that while I was facing the sun, I'd have been in trouble. Must have just whacked it. So yeah, I'd really be interested in how the PlayStation does everything with one joypad. Because I've got a voice attack profile. I use my voice sometimes. I don't do it when I'm doing a live video, but I use the voice attack at other times. I have my HOTAS, which has what 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 buttons, and I use the keyboard. So I don't know how they do it on a PlayStation 4, but they must. I mean, it must be alright. I know there's enough people play it. See how I didn't get greedy with that sun? Because I'm worried now.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Right, I'll try and get a grip. Try and get a bit greedy on the next one. So Elite Dangerous isn't the only game I play. Depending on the day, sometimes I like to play The Division. Other days I like to play LA Noire. What's the other one? Last of Us. I play all sorts of games, so at different times I'm going to make different videos about different things, but to be honest, Elite's probably the #1 game for me. But I don't mind doing other things as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna check how far away I am from home now. Now, I don't know if you've never visited LHS-142. It is an absolutely beautiful system. It's the reason I made it home. It's got a binary star, and my home station VO dock is about 60 light seconds off the drop. So it's just it's a great place to have as your home dock. Now I know a lot of people don't play this game with a home dock or anything, but I don't know. There's something about when you've been away doing whatever, whether it be a Federation grind, an Empire grind, passenger missions, whatever. It's nice to have somewhere to kind of call home and go back to. What I quite often do is, especially when I'm doing something long distance, I'll actually go out there in my Diamondback Explorer, and then I'll have something shipped over to do the main missions with, and then the Diamondback Explorer is there to fly home with as well when I'm finished and get the thing shipped, and then get the other ship brought back. So you sometimes, when you arrive there, you have to wait around, but it gives you a chance to have a look at some local places, you know, and have a land on some of the planets, drive around in your Scarab.
Frameshift drive charging.
So if you like what you see, do leave a like and subscribe if possible, and again, I've probably said it before, and I've probably said it a couple more times. So we've actually already been to the Jupiter's Ghost. So if you want to run back in the video, because the video does go backwards, you can have a look about 15-20 minutes ago. You'll be able to see it. Although I might want to stay tuned because I'm getting low on fuel here. I'm not scooping well enough, not after that dropout. So we've got like two jumps left in us if I don't. Okay. We should be able to do this. Okay, so that wasn't a very good one, was it? And I didn't scoop correctly, but luckily this next jump is so small. It's a shame. I should have taken advantage of that sun. I didn't see how short that jump was.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
So we should start seeing something along the lines of bust and booms and stuff like that in the next ones.
Fuel scooping.
Oh, my flying's much shakier now. Don't trust myself, that's what it is. Okay, and a big jump now.
Charging.
Just cooking it up a little bit there, but that's alright. I'll get all the ice off the dashboard.
4.
I've been flying so far away from the stars.
Engage.
So if you've just joined the stream, come in, say hello. If you have any questions, I'll try and answer them.
Fuel scooping. Frame shift drive.
Oh, that was a bit tad too early there. There we go.
Shift drive charging.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of burn up. Gets rid of all that dust and ice on the front of the ship there, so it's not too much of a problem.
Fuel scooping.
Just crab around a little bit here so I can get this this planet in sight on the exit. Oh, there it is. Went a little bit too far there. 27 new planets, that's good.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frame shift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage.
So this is my ship Memphis Belle. Memphis Belle's the explorer ship that I use. It's really kind of kitted out for long journeys and scanning. I have recently, at the cost of a couple of light years per jump, which I don't know whether it's a good or a bad thing, I've added a SRV just so that in certain places I can go and have a look around in the SRV, and if I like the look of a planet. And definitely with the new planets coming up, like the new artwork on the planets, I think planet how can we put it, not discovery but expeditions onto little planets and having a look around and trying to find little bits and bobs. The mining's a bit strange on planets. I've done it a little bit. It seems a bit strange how the RNG works on it, and kind of you can't get anything else on the rest of the planet. So but I do like going down on the planets. It's good fun sometimes, especially when you get a low gravity one, if you can get any good places to jump. I wouldn't recommend going to planets with huge valleys in them with zero gravity, because you can't, your SRV doesn't really handle it very well. I have a few of the ships that I like to use. I've got quite a few ships now in my fleet, a bit like a car collector. They're not all kitted out, so I don't generally use some of them. They're just there for looking at. I will get round to fitting them all out. I basically want every ship to have a purpose. So I do have one called Coconut Airways, which is my passenger ship. I have Big Bertha, which is my trading ship. Obviously I have this one, the Memphis Belle, which is for discovery. And then I have a final one called Irene, which is for attack stuff, but I haven't really started on that yet, so I haven't kitted it out.
Frameshift drive charging.
So that's something I might do some videos on in the future as well, the best way to kit out certain ships into whatever they do best, you know.
3, 2, 1, engage.
So currently we are heading for LHS-142. I have actually been to the Ghost of Jupiter if you've just joined the stream, but you can run it back. You can run the stream back, even the live stream. You can run it back and have a look. Probably about 20-25 minutes ago or something that I was there. Maybe a bit longer.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
You know, I should just lie more, because I just lost a viewer as soon as I said I'd already been. If I hadn't said anything, I'd have kept them for a few more minutes. But you see, I'm an honest person. I'm an honest person. I can't lie like that.
4, 3, 2.
It's not in my personality to do that. Should check some of my other videos, not my live videos, my other ones. There's a couple. If you're having trouble ranking up at all, I've got a couple of tip videos for ranking up. There is one there about making money, but it doesn't actually. It's been nerfed at the moment. It doesn't work, so don't follow it. That one as such. The newbie one still does work. When something gets nerfed, I generally write it in the title. I don't delete the videos, but I do leave it in the title to say it's been nerfed. So you're not going to get caught out or anything. If you're new to the game and you're just looking for tips or anything, then I'd highly recommend going to look at my 50 million per hour for newbies, because that's definitely going to help you get going. In fact, I might actually remake that video one day just so I can make it a little bit more polished and a bit more clear, because I watched it. It was one of the first videos I made, and I watched it back the other day and I felt I could have done a little bit more to it, just to help new people, because I do know how scary this game can be at the beginning. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's see how far we are. If you've never seen LHS-142, stay tuned and have a look at it before you go, because it's a nice system. It's my home system, and we're only 4 jumps off, so it's worth staying involved just to have a look at it.
Frameshift drive charging.
And I'll try and have a really good look at it actually when we drop in.
Fuel scooping.
Probably going to find it hard to find any decent scans here. I'll probably scan the life out of these systems close by. Oh, did I just go a little bit too soon there? I think I did, didn't I?
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive
I'll be alright. So I didn't even have to actually do a full stop on this run, which is really, really good. I think on the way out I had to actually stop once.
3, 2, 1, engage.
So if you haven't chosen a home system, I would choose one. Most people do. I mean, even if you're not into the whole role-playing element of a game and taking on a character or a perceived character, which I aren't particularly that interested in, still having a home, somewhere to call home and go back to when you've finished long journeys or you've finished a big mission, I just think it's nice. It's nice to drop into somewhere. And somewhere like Erevate's probably not the best, because that's where all the gankers hang around. So you want to kind of fly out and find your own place. There's so many places. And you'll find that people fly in and out for whatever reason. You'll meet people in open. I really wish people would speak a bit more in open. Actually, there's a lot of, sometimes, you know, you arrive to some places and there's loads of people in the chat just saying hello, welcome and whatnot. And I guess generally that's when that's their home and whatnot. And then you go to other places and kind of the other captains are completely silent, and you don't know whether their plan is to get you when you come out the station or whatever. Okay, so here we are. This is it, LHS-142.
Frameshift drive
Oh,
charging.
one final jump.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
It's an M-star red dwarf, and it's in boom. It's always in boom, actually. I've always managed to keep it in boom.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Okay, so I'm going to pull back on the throttle as I drop in, because it's a binary star. So here you go. So it's as you drop in, it's a binary star, and I said I was going to pull back on the throttle. So you kind of got this really nice thing here, and if it just lets me do it. Okay, so we can kind of get a half decent look at the binary star there. So I think this is just a nice home base to come back to, because you kind of get this view when you first drop in, and when you actually go towards the station, there's a couple of planets close by as well. So sometimes, depending on where you drop in and whatnot, you kind of pass the planets, you pass the two suns and whatnot. I just think it's a really nice place to call home. Oh, I was a second late pulling back the trigger there, so I'm going to have to do the circle of shame. So you can see the double planets there. So this actually won't be too bad, because when I come around to show you, you'll actually see how nice it looks. So you got the kind of two planets. Actually, if I can just do it that way, I don't know if it's going to work the same way, but we can try it and try and get a decent view of it. So there, yeah, that's probably, there you go. So you got the binary star and then the two planets there, and I just think it's a really, it's an amazing view. And to call that home is whoop. Call it home, if I was to take the orbital lines off, actually, to call it home is really, it's nice. So let's go into the ODock, get docked. So if you've just joined the stream, we've actually already been, but you can run it back. So if you want to run the stream back by about 30-40 minutes or something, you will actually see, you will see it. If you're watching this video at a later date, I'm hoping to add the I'll try and add in the marker, so it's easier for you to run backwards or forwards too. I'm not even in the planet. Give me a break. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth having a home base. I really do. Just gives you somewhere to come home to when you finish your journey. And normally this is a super fast drop in, but because I messed up the approach, I've had to go around the back, and then I decided to go around the back of those two planets. So from even outside VO Dock, you can just see it's just such an amazing view, especially when the sun's on the other side and it shines on the front of VO Dock. It just makes it look so much better. So we're going to request docking. I'm not going to do auto dock at the moment. Oh, it's already clicked in. Damn it. Oh no, it hasn't. It's turned itself off. That's alright.
Scan detected.
What am I, 27?
Landing gear deployed.
Now, I'm not the best at landing, but I do try and give it my best. Hey, no. Well, there you go.
Landing successful. Deploy ground services.
So we'll see how much we got for all those places that we scanned. It should be a fair bit. So if we go to Starport Services and then Universal Cartographies. Okay, so yeah, 1.3 million. It's not actually bad. That's for that page. I don't know if there's another page because I think it's all added in now. Oh no, there's another one. So that's what, 1.3, 5.6 pretty much. So yeah, I got 1.3, 5.6, 1.9 million. That really isn't bad for what I just did. Although my balance doesn't seem to have gone up that much. And it hasn't really affected my rank. I don't know what's happening with the rank today. It doesn't seem to be changing properly yet. But anyway, thanks for watching the stream. I've actually had quite a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like and subscribe, and I'll be sure to catch you again. In the meantime, I'll catch you later.